Okay, let's just jump right in. The AI world moves at a breakneck pace, right? But every now and then, something drops that feels different, like a real turning point. And that's exactly what we're talking about today with DeepSeek V3.1. This isn't just another update, folks. People are calling it the start of a whole new era for artificial intelligence. And this is it. This is the phrase that just set the internet on fire. Our first step toward the agent era. I mean, come on, that's not just marketing speak, right? That's a huge statement of intent from the DeepSeek team. They're basically saying what we've built is fundamentally different. So, what on earth is an agent era, anyway? Right, so here's the key thing you gotta understand. We're talking about moving way beyond the chatbots we're all used to, the ones that just spit out text. An AI agent, well, it's a doer. It doesn't just answer your question, it can actually reason, plan, and then take action to get something done. Think about it like this. It's the difference between asking an AI for a recipe and having an AI that plans your meals for the whole week, makes the shopping list, and then, get this, orders the groceries for you. Huge difference. So yeah, this is where we kind of leave the familiar territory behind. We've all gotten pretty used to just chatting with AI, but this whole agent era thing, it's promising a future where we're actually collaborating with AI to tackle really complex stuff. It just came out this past August, and the whole point of V3.1 is that it was engineered from the ground up with this idea of action in mind. It's not just about generating words anymore. Its entire architecture is tuned to support this much more autonomous way of working. So you might be wondering, how does it actually pull all this off? Well, the secret sauce is this really clever idea they're calling hybrid inference. You can think of it as giving the model the ability to be both a sprinter and a marathon runner at the same time. And what's super interesting is how this hybrid thing works. The model basically has two different modes it can switch between. You've got your fast, casual chat mode for quick questions and brainstorming. But when you need the real heavy lifting done, like for complex coding or deep data analysis, it kicks into this deliberate reasoning mode that really thinks things through. And that's the real beauty of it. Instead of needing two separate models, one that's quick and one that's powerful, you get the best of both worlds baked into one single efficient system. It's all about having the right tool for the job, ready to go in an instant. So what else is under the hood that makes these new agent abilities possible? Because it's not just about that hybrid system. It's also about some serious performance upgrades across the board. First off, speed. Speed is everything here. A lot of the older, powerful reasoning models were cool, but they were just too slow to be practical for everyday use. V3.1 has managed to slash that thinking time, making its deep reasoning fast enough for your actual daily workflow, not just for some lab experiment. And then there's this. Just look at that number, 128,000. So what is that? That's its memory, its context window. And let me tell you, a number this big isn't just a little step up. It's a total game changer. So what does a massive memory like that actually mean in the real world? Well, it means the AI can basically read and remember hundreds of pages of text all at once. You can throw an entire book at it, a dense research paper, a super complex legal document, or even an entire software codebase. And it won't forget what was on page 1 by the time it gets to page 500. For an AI agent that needs to understand the whole picture to get a job done, that's not just nice to have, it is absolutely critical. Okay, so here's a peek into how an agent actually thinks. When you give it a big, complex goal, it doesn't just try to answer you right away. First, it plans out a workflow. It breaks the big problem down into smaller, bite-sized steps. Then, it figures out what tools it needs. Like maybe it needs to call an API or run a piece of code. And finally, it actually executes those steps, one by one, to get to the final goal. Now, let's step back from the tech for a second, because one of the most important things about DeepSeek V3.1 is its whole philosophy. And this is where it starts to matter to everybody, not just giant tech companies. For the longest time, the most powerful AI models, your GPT-4s and your Claudes, have been locked away completely closed source. DeepSeek V3.1 flips that on its head. By making it open source, they're letting anyone and everyone access it, tweak it, and build on top of it. This just unleashes a wave of community innovation, it lets you host it yourself for privacy, and it gives us all a clear look at how the thing actually works. And they made it super easy for developers to get started.
It supports all the common API formats, which means a programmer can pretty much just drop DeepSeek into a system that was built for a completely different model. That just lowers the barrier to entry and really encourages people to experiment. All right, so as we start to wrap up and look ahead, it's really important to balance all this excitement with a little bit of a reality check. Where are we really at, and what are the hurdles still in front of us?
Let's be real for a second. This isn't magic. If you want to run this model on your own machine, you're going to need some serious hardware. We're talking high-end GPUs. That powerful thinking mode, it eats up a lot more resources. And yeah, just like every other LLM out there, it can still make stuff up. It can hallucinate. So you, the user, have to be smart about picking the right mode for the right task if you want to be efficient. But hey, even with those limitations, the big picture here doesn't change. We are at a genuine turning point. Our whole relationship with AI is shifting. It's moving from being a fancy search engine or a text generator to becoming a true collaborator, a partner that can help us think, plan, and actually do. And that right there leaves us with a pretty mind-bending question to chew on, doesn't it? I mean, for as long as we can remember, our job has been to be the thinkers, the planners, the ones who do things. But if AI can now start to plan and act on its own, what's left for us? What becomes our role? What's the uniquely human part we bring to the table in this new agent era? Honestly, that's a question we're all going to have to figure out together.